Hi, Purple Wingers. I'm here with Sam Jackson, who, along with 23 other students from North End Memorial, traveled to Japan a few weeks ago as part of the Kizuna Project. So, Sam, for those who don't know, would you explain the Kizuna Project and what it's about?
Of course, the Kizuna Project was something that we were invited to join by the Japanese government, who contacted our teacher and said that they would give 23 of us a free trip to Japan so that we could learn about the disaster-hit area of northern Japan, what's called the Tohoku region, and learn about the people who live there and how the tsunami affected their lives and how they're recovering.
Okay. And how did you originally get interested in the project, and why were you selected?
Since I am part of our Japanese 4, our teacher was informing us as she was applying for the program and about the probability of us getting in and participating. And slowly as it moved towards December, it became more and more real as she would say, "Oh, we got accepted into the program. Oh, look, you guys need to now fill out these applications." And so we had a nice long application with questions like, why do you want to join this program? What can you do how can you spread the word about what you learn? Things like that. And originally we were also planning on having Japanese host students come and join us a few weeks after we got back, but that fell through at the last minute, sadly. But we had to be able to support them if they came over, help them get along in Eau Claire, and then after that, I applied, and then our teacher notified the 23 of us that got in, and that's how I was accepted and went to Japan.
Nice. And you mentioned that you visited the hardest hit areas from the tsunami.
Yes, we did.
How was that?
It was very sad in some places. We got to hear stories from storytellers who talked to us about their experience in Japan. We heard from a kid named Yuki, who was a boy about 15 years old when the tsunami hit his town, and he was talking about how he was with his friends when the tsunami washed away everything, but he luckily got to high ground in time. But then when he went back to his city to see what remained of his house and things like that, along the street he found his uncle dead in a car amongst all the other trash that was there, and it was really sad to hear.
It's terrible.
The inflections in his voice, and just you could tell he wanted to cry, and we all did too. The highlights of my trip were when we got to stay with our Japanese host families in and around Tokyo. It was a lot of fun because we got to actually see what Japan was like, and we got to we got to taste and experience and go to school with them and eat food with them and sleep in their house and just see what a normal Japanese life is like. It has a lot of studying in it, but we got to skip that, luckily. They would watch movies with us, we could go shopping, we just did a lot of fun things like that. We got to use the Japanese that we've been practicing for years now, and it was a lot of fun.
Great. So overall, what was the most valuable thing you took away from this experience?
The most valuable thing I took away from this experience, I think, was how you need to respect human life and respect the fact that every person is alive and has their own wishes and has their own dreams, and that when things like disasters happen, you also need to try and help those who have lost their dreams and everything that mattered to them move on with their life and really regain what's important to them. There were a lot of people that we met over there who had good paying jobs or had what they had always dreamed of, but then lost it all in the course of an afternoon and lost their families and lost their friends, and they didn't have anything to come home to. And seeing that and realizing that everybody does have something inside them, they aren't just another person on the street, they are an individual, and that you really need to respect that and love them for who they are and want them to move on and hope for them to do as well as they can in their life, even though what they have is gone. There was a lot of perseverance that we saw, and that really made me hopeful for the future of not only Japan but everybody who has gone through hard times.